I love bragging about multicultural club members, but you know this. I love bragging about what it is, the amazing things that multicultural club members do. I also am very clear when I say that being multicultural is not about your skin tone. It is about your multicultural experiences. That's why there are Caucasian club members, there are African American club members, but they're club members nonetheless. And that's one of our strengths. I've also said, particularly in the context of, civil litigation and criminal litigation and societal issues, that club members, multicultural club members, are going to save this country. This attractive gentleman to my right is a multicultural club member. Multicultural club member, Nick Wright. Nick Wright has a bunch of podcasts, not podcasts, he has network deals. What's Right with Nick Wright is my favorite. Nick Wright has, I think, 3 multicultural children. He is a legitimate 100% club member, and I love Nick Wright. I love Nick Wright a lot today because he has just confirmed exactly what I told you 2 days ago or yesterday. I told you yesterday Tyreek Hill was unlawfully detained. I told you yesterday that the police do not have a right to demand that Tyreek Hill be nice to them and lay on the ground and prostrate himself. Nick Wright just did a piece, and that piece is powerful, and I'm going to play it for you. Let me give you some background, by the way. I've known Nick Wright since he was, I think, 12. I know him through his father. Here's the part that people don't know. Nick Wright's dad is a guy named Louis Wright. Louis Wright is a famous union organizer. Louis Wright was the president of Local 42. It's a Kansas City, Missouri firefighter union. He was so good that literally his membership got mad at him. He would get criticized because he got all of the concessions he wanted. Nicky comes from a proud family. His dad's a very, very Italian brother. We used to eat at an Italian place that Louis Wright signed off on, so it's good. But I met Nick one time, and we were at a place, and I think he was 12, and he announced that he was going to be on ESPN. That's how I know him. I'm not a personal friend. I am a personal friend with his father, and I know his father's incredibly proud of him. I'm proud of him too, in the context of this. You're going to hear, I'm going to play this for you. This is Nick Wright pointing out why, the exact reasons why, that it's the police who are wrong, not Tyreek Hill. I'm going to play an extended portion of this. Pay attention to it because it's really important, especially the part where Nick is pointing out that the system is not set up requiring us regular people to beg and plead for the police not to beat us up. This is a great piece. I'm going to play it for you and revel in the fact that not only is it interesting and great, revel in the fact that this is yet another multicultural club member changing the world. Here it is.
The other two things, though, one is a math thing, and the other is and the other is just how things have to work for us to be able to have a cohesive society. The number of people who, in their analysis, made sure to point out, well, Tyreek was rude. Tyreek could have handled that better. Tyreek should have, and the number of people who have just baked into their brains the acceptance of, oh, if you give a cop a shitty attitude or talk back or don't do exactly what they say, you might get roughed up. If you give a cop a shitty attitude or talk back or don't do exactly what they say, you might get roughed up. and you're kind of naive or dumb if you don't just accept and know that, is abhorrent.
That is as powerful a statement as to the issues indicated in this Tyreek Hill matter as I've seen. It's abhorrent. It's abhorrent. It's aberrant. The police don't get to stop and arrest people without probable cause. They have it backwards. All the pundits, the stupid Stephen A. Smiths, who I can't watch anymore, the stupid ESPN. The law is clear. You can't stop somebody. You can't stop a person and make him placate to you and bow down to you and tell you how great you are. That's not this country. And Nick Wright, of What's Right with Nick Wright, has it 100%. 100%. From a club member. Club members leading the way. He goes on, and this gets better.
We have done the opposite math on the expectations on how police officers should treat the citizenry that we need to do, which is we hold them in our brains subconsciously to a lower standard than the barista at Starbucks, when we should hold them to the highest standard. And here's what I mean. You are not allowed to assault someone because they're rude to you.
That part is so important. A police officer can't put his hands on you without probable cause to believe a crime has occurred. If that officer does not have probable cause and he then touches you, that is an assault. And this is the point Nick is making. A really important point.
And the people least allowed to do that, in my eyes, are the people who we give the most power to. Any cop in America has the ability to ruin any of our days at any moment, at a minimum. Ruin our day. And the ruin our day is the smallest thing and could, for some people, make them lose their job. For some people, real violence, for, different instances. But they're the only people. They're the only people who have the unilateral power to prevent you from going about your day, detain you, arrest you, cuff you, humiliate you. We have given them immense power that no one else in the society has. With that power comes immense responsibility.
Again, dramatically important point directly tied to the Constitution. You are given, a cop has the authority to detain you if he or she believes a crime has occurred. That authority is limited. There must be probable cause. And the reason for that is because the police have so much authority, so much power, that we have to make sure it's exercised properly. This is what Nick is saying, and he's 1,000% right. This is leadership. This is what the media is supposed to do, by the way. This isn't what, and I'm going to point this out. Nick is Italian. He has a multicultural family. Why is it that these African-American people, ESPN keeps parading out, all African-American former athletes can't recite basic constitutional law? It's craziness. And that inability, you cannot allow some of your constitutional rights to be taken away. The minute one is taken away, the others are at risk. That's what Nick Wright is saying here, and he's saying it eloquently, and he's saying it in a manner that people can understand it. Listen to what he's saying.
And you have kind of signed up. You got to take more shit with a smile on your face than anyone else. And we as a society have just decided, well, yeah, maybe that's how it should be, but we know that's not how it works. We all kind of know, you talk back to the wrong cop, you don't listen to him. It's not just that. You want to say you don't listen to him and you are going to get cuffed for failure to listen to a lawful command, fine, so be it. But that's not what that was. It was, well, you don't listen to him. We all know somebody there might put you in a chokehold. Somebody there might knee you in the back. somebody there might put your face down on the pavement. And yeah, they shouldn't do it, but we all kind of know they might.
Let me point out one important point. You could see that Nick was impacted by what he'd said. They may put you in cuffs. They may put you in the ground. They may put your face down. That's because Nick Wright has children who are of color. I keep telling you, being multicultural isn't about your skin tone. It's about your multicultural experiences. That's a father talking about not just the constitutional limitations of police power, but talking about what can happen to your child, oftentimes of color, if the police don't follow the rules. Being multicultural is about multicultural experiences. Nick Wright just gave a passionate, important, well-reasoned, and emotional explanation of the law. And we've yet to see an African-American lawyer, an African-American agent, an African-American sportscaster come out and just give basic constitutional law in the context of real people. That's horrid. That's horrible. That's horrible. We have to fix that. Let me give you some more, Nick.
That's bullshit. And that's not how this is supposed to go. If I go to Starbucks and I walk in there and what do you want? Mocha frap and quick with it, toots. Like, geez, Louise, what do you do? What, are you talking to me like that? Yeah, I am. I am talking to you like that. Quickly. Dumb barista. Get a real job. You know what nobody thinks is okay? For that person to come across the counter, put me in a chokehold, and put me face down on the store. No, it's not. Even though, in my mind, actually, that would be more acceptable than a cop doing it. That's just a regular person with a regular job. But if I walk up to a police officer and say, hey, say some awful things, make fun of them, do whatever, kind of bait them, and then that cop threw me in cuffs and threw me on the ground, everyone would be like, well, you kind of had it coming. That's the opposite of how this is supposed to go.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is one.
When you are a public servant with this type of power, there are things that you must be better than. And so a lot of folks are just reflexively being like, Tyreek should have known better. Yes, sure. Not his job. Not his job.
Not his job. Not Tyreek Hill's job to know better. Nick is exactly correct. He's exactly. Police officers are the ones whose responsibility it is to understand the Constitution. The police officers are the ones that escalated it. The police officers are the ones that engaged in unconstitutional conduct. And there is a multicultural club member, Nick Wright, spelling it out. The only national anchor, the only national news personality actually reporting about the Tyreek Hill situation and the fact that Tyreek Hill is the victim. Tyreek Hill is the person whose rights were violated, and that the Miami Dade Police Department was fundamentally and unconstitutionally in the wrong. I told you this was the case. This is going to watch and see. On the Fletchcast, I was one of the first people to say, wait a minute, this Tyreek Hill thing is wrong. It's going to start coming apart now because of people like Nick Wright, a multicultural club member. What's right with Nick Wright? Fox, watch him. He's amazing. He tells the truth. He gets it. By the way, and I keep forgetting to do this, like and subscribe. And also, I know I owe you a video to prove that in less than 3 seconds, I can prove to you that Tyreek Hill was falsely arrested. I put this on tonight because Nick just did it. It came across and I wanted you to see it because it was great and it was powerful. Like and subscribe. I'm going to give you your video tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Nick Wright. And thank you, Louis Wright, who gave us Nick Wright.